Okay, it's my first time using this Microsoft Clipchamp. So hopefully you guys can hear me better than in the past because a lot of the stories I was saying, no one could really hear everything I was saying. Um, just a quick video. Um, and it's funny because everything old is new again in a way. And I'll give you a definition of that. I used to, I don't know if I wrote about this or not. Well, 1,000 years ago, we're going back and forth to Pennsylvania and stuff, and to Florida. And anytime we had a trip, we had these Charlie Brown readers, and we had a tape, and you put in the tape, you opened it up, and I remember it was special because it was sealed like with a little slide seal. You'd slide it. That's the first thing I ever saw that was like that, actually. Yeah. So you would slide it, unslide it, and then you have the book to listen to the tape. And many, 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 many a day, we had all these Charlie Brown ones, and we'd listen to them, and it was such a simple exercise, but it was so joyful. I just put in the tape, and back then that was our entertainment. You know, besides the sisters picking on me and stuff like that, and also in the back, our bunk, it was always leaking. Anytime anybody who slept on the bunk got like a wet sleeping bag. And on top of that, trying to look for shoes. But and now I've listened to I started listening, like, watching movies like everyone else does, but I started embracing audiobooks, you know, and everybody's like, audiobooks, no big deal. And in the past, I tried to do audiobooks and I really couldn't do it. But okay, so sorry about that. My landlord stopped by and asked me if I wanted a recliner. I told him I already have two with the couch that I got from the guy who was at the lake house before. But so I'm just like, I'm now kind of fascinated with they're listening to this to the 50s. And this broadcast was actually being done on the day, unfortunately, that Kennedy's assassination was like the day before. And then after that, they were talking about the procession and everything else. But let me go back to, so this was done in the 50s. And I'm just thinking, okay, so it was London, it was Britain, it was, after World War II, things were hopping and stuff was going on. And in my mind, I'm just thinking about, there's a guy, there's a gal, there's kids, a dog, whatever. And everybody is around the radio because it was such a polarizing thing in such a good way. you know, and of course, you had the Winston Churchills, you had the Firestone chats, or the fireplace chats or whatever, and he spoke of like what was going on during the war and everything. And then I'm thinking, and then after all that stress, after all that drama, after all that fatigue, and brain, like, brain tiredness, and with the stress and everything, now they got around it as like a coming together. And I'm just thinking about like what they do during their day. You know what I mean? And maybe it's just me, but I always have like, if I'm driving, and it's on the highway and I can see, people's windows or their houses or something, there's lights going on and stuff. I always think like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? You know? Um, I'll never forget, we were in Detroit, not Detroit, we were up in Bloomfield Hills. And there was this massive, massive house. And I remember a guy going down, I remember a kid actually playing in the front yard. And, there was a time I was in Texas and they were making massive homes. This was Plano. And some houses. And my uncle's like, yeah, those people have more money than God, and he sees humongous frontage. But then also, you just see people like just out and about, and you think about like really kind of what's on their mind. What are they doing? What are they thinking? And maybe because I'm getting older, in 25 years or whatever, or 30 years, I won't be here kind of thing. But I, I'm now thinking about like, okay, I live across the street from a preschool, right? Or yeah, a country day school or preschool, whatever. And I'm thinking about, man, what are those kids going to do? You know what I mean? It's just maybe it's a moment in time and a moment in reflection that I just really like grasp. And I used to do this all the time too. I used to when we travel, I'd see like old barns and stuff like that, and old houses and old farmhouses and old tool sheds. I used to think, how much time and toil went around in there, you know, how much work went in there to put in that window? And those blinds, who put in those blinds? And even if it was a house was condemned or old, someone painted it. Someone wanted the numbers different than the front trim. Or, someone wanted to put in a walkway after, not having one or whatever. And you just reflect on things as you get older. You just really reflect on things. My dad's famous one was I don't know why. Always say this. When we saw an accident, he'd be like, "Wonder what I was doing when he was doing," and then I could have been in that accident. And it was kind of we made kind of fun of it because it was such a kind of a fateful kind of look at life just at a time. I wonder what I was doing when he. And then now times I think, what, when I was traveling back and forth to work, I'm going to lay back. I'm going to lay back. You know, I'm single. I'm basically a single guy. I got no one at home. No pets, no nothing. I don't have to pick up kids. I'm like, let's let others get home quicker and faster without me impeding them. I used to be in such a rush with everything. I had to do, had to go, had to go, had to go, had to go, had to go. And you know what? When you have to go all the time, you don't live in the present. You don't embrace what it is. Like right now I'm living in a trap house, whatever, waiting for a job. I just told my landlord nothing comes. I'm just going to throw in the ladder racks, get a power washer, and do what I've always done, bust ass, because that's what I know. But, and I have to re embrace the struggle. I have to re embrace the struggle. Um, because that's what life is. That's what life is. I'm sorry, I went to so many different tangents in this. Um, I just wanted to say what old is new again is I'm listening to stuff basically of how it used to be listened to and taken in a time and place that's close to 80 years ago. Close to 80 years ago. And it's so fulfilling. It is so fulfilling. The static, the emotion, the drama that's built, the music, and it has no graphics, no anything, because I still don't have a TV. I mean, I have two monitors from where I used to work from home, but I don't have a regular TV and I don't miss it at all. Just like I don't have a microwave, because if I get a microwave, I'll get so much sodium again, forget it. So I'm not doing any of that. Um, but it's a simple thing. It's a simple thing, the voice. It is a simple thing, dialect. It is a simple thing, speech. It is also a simple thing with the music. But put together, it's really like a new technology to me. It really is like a new technology to me. Every story is so rich in 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 flavors of different parts of how it comes together. I think I've listened to the one about the plane 4 times already. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. It is so awesome. Oh yeah, I listened to submarine ones too. That's cool too. Enemy runs deep. Um, and you know, I don't really. I guess I just look like a geeky, like nerdy person. I don't know, but it is so awesome to listen to something that is just, it just makes you think about everything else of what was going on during the time. And I probably do have too much time on my hands, to be honest with you. But it's so rich. It is so rich in flavor. It is so different to me. And it's so old. It's decades old. Uh, all right, that's all I got. Um, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start doing it on these because hopefully it's a lot better. And you guys can hear me. And I got to redo the stories I already did with more um, inflection and stuff. So I think I'm a pretty good storyteller. I think I am now. Used to not so much be, but I think I am now. And it is the description, it is the richness, it's what you bring to a story, any story, I feel. And it's like really therapeutic for me too. Um, like I said, man, I had the greatest childhood growing up. I really did. I really did. And